Okay, so today I'm doing something a little bit different. So I'm gonna show you this here. As you can see, this picture. This is a lady. She's black, and she made a remark, interesting remark. So she basically said she doesn't date black people, especially she doesn't date black men. And you know, I just want to point out a bigger question because, and I have observed over the years some people who come to United States who are you can identify them as a black, but for some reason they do not respect black Americans. And I just want to point this one out. You know, for those people who are trying to say, "Oh, you are just you know you're just complaining about this woman," and that's why you're making the video. I can assure you that I don't want to brag, but I can, I get more pussy that I can handle. Let me say that. Okay. So I just want to clarify this point first before we can move on. There is a bigger question. Why she feels that she doesn't want to date black men. Okay. And I think that's very disturbing. The reason is disturbing is, you know, I know there is a sentiment out there, especially people coming from, immigrants coming from all over the world. And some immigrants, they tend to disrespect African Americans. Uh, you know, the black people who were, you know, who lived here for 100 years. And I think that's very ignorant. And to say that you don't like black people or you don't respect black people, that's completely ignorant. And I just want to give some clarity so that people have to be careful, especially if you're coming in this country and they're not, you have a bad experience towards black people, then therefore you're going to hate black people. That's going to be a problem because remember, African American have been fighting in this country for hundreds of years. All right. And they are able to fight the system that was oppressing them. Okay. And and they've been successful in terms of having the same rights in this country. They paved the way for equality of races. And a lot of people, they shouldn't forget about that. It's very important. They paved the way. They fought, you know, in a very uphill battle against a system that wants to really dominate them. And they've been successful in terms of reaching some of the goals. And today you come here in this country, you say you don't like black people. That's ignorant. Because of them, you are able to flourish in this society. Okay? Because of the struggles that they have been through, they they fight that they fought, people of color, the so-called people of color that come to United States, they flourish because African Americans made it possible. And to deny that, it's completely ignorant. It's wrong. And we have to appreciate and respect the fact that African Americans uh, made it possible for immigrants of color from around the world, okay, to work in this country, to have a better life. Of course, these are an exception, I'm not saying, but in general, my experience has been not positive, especially when immigrants come here and they have bad experiences with Black people. Therefore, they tend to have very negative outlook on African American in general. What happened is they first, if you're an immigrant, we have to put it, I have to give you the context. If you're an immigrant, you come to this country, you tend to live in a neighborhood that's very poor. And unfortunately, a lot of Black people, they live in poor neighborhoods. And the immigrant opens a store, open a business, then he has really bad experiences. I'm gonna say, I have myself, when I opened my business, unfortunately, the person, I was robbed. My store was was broke in, and I lost a lot of money. And the person who did, unfortunately, turns out to be an African American. You see, so those kind of experiences really give you a negative sentiment against African American. Okay, and the people live in the bad. So if you live in bad neighborhoods and you do not have experiences of the majority of African Americans who are really standing in society, you tend to have a negative sentiment because of your experiences. But I'm beyond that. I don't, I understand the complexity of society. Okay. I know I am beyond my own prejudice. I tend to look at the world rationally. Okay. So I'm just giving you the reason why, some of the reason why people who come in this country tend to have a negative view on Black African Americans. So, but I just want to warn you guys, you have to be very careful. Yeah, there are some few bad apples. And I think if you watch Chris Rock's comedy, you will understand the difference. Okay. His stand-up comedy is a really a clear indication that there are bad people and good people. So, and it's very dangerous to lump, the majority of people with the bad ones. So I just want to make it clear. And this lady, completely disregard completely, saying she doesn't date Black people. That's very ignorant of her, because she may have had some bad experiences, and that doesn't justify her hatred towards Black people. Okay, so in life you have to put things into perspective. If you just go black, if you just say white and black, it's not a very balanced viewpoint. You have to have a balanced approach in life. And if it weren't for Black people, for African Americans, it would be almost impossible for people to come here to flourish and to have a better life. African American made it possible in this country. They fought for centuries to have equal rights, to have a dignity, to be treated as human beings. And we should be, as immigrants of colors that come here, they should honor that, then they should respect that. And they have to be very careful in trying to painting all African Americans in a negative way. So these are my few points. If you have a perspective that you want to add, you can comment below.